A company-wide theme overtaking the Coffinverse in 2023.
Welcome, people of Earth. Here we are at the official preview of La Muerta Devious, the upcoming Kickstarter campaign coming at you May 10th at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I am Coffin Comics publisher Brian Pulido, and I couldn't be prouder or more stoked to present to you this official preview of the work that we are creating for your consideration for La Muerta Devious. Now, La Muerta Devious is part of our overall company-wide theme, Evilverse. Before we get into it, let me lay out some of the basics. La Muerta Devious is written by Mike McLean, illustrated by Joel Gomez, colored by CC De La Cruz, and lettered by veteran letterer Marshall Dillon. This is the 9th chapter in La Muerta's story. And this is the exact same creative team since the beginning. It's true. We have all been working together since 2015. I am the proud editor of this project, and I get to observe these phenomenal creators coming together and presenting what I believe authentically is the finest La Muerta story to date. It is just a blast. The Evilverse theme has been very, very instructive. Couple pieces of business before we get into it. A link to sign up for the pre-landing page is somewhere involved here, and I highly recommend you click on it and sign up, and you will be notified upon our launch Wednesday, May 10th, 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So please do that right away. Additionally, we're going to be sending out the official PDF preview within the next 24 hours. So get ready for that. It's going to recap everything here. It's going to help you with your planning. If you do not have a Kickstarter account, I highly recommend you go sign up for one in advance of our launch date. Get all set up. I think that's everything I got to say for housekeeping. But man, here we go. All right, La Muerta Devious. Let me read the description for you. May I? A killer stalks the midnight streets of Mexico City, ruthlessly eliminating its criminal elite. Who is this killer? What motivates her murderous ways? And why does she wear the skull face of the infamous vigilante La Muerta? When innocents are caught in the crossfire, Maria Diaz, the real La Muerta, makes it her mission to track the imposter down. Soon Maria and her former lover, Detective King, find themselves embroiled in a cartel war that threatens to bathe Mexico City in blood. Can Maria stop the merciless pretender? Or will a dark family secret finally lure La Muerta to her demise? Find out in the brutal, bullet-ridden pages of La Muerta Devious. I'm stoked, man. So let's get into it, shall we? Here are the editions for the La Muerta Devious Kickstarter campaign. Let us begin with the main edition. This is illustrated by Diego Bernard, colored by CC De La Cruz. It will be 48 pages in square bound of story and art. Next up, we could not resist ourselves and invited series illustrator Joel Gomez to lend his hand and do his own official edition, La Muerta. And because we're introducing a new major arch villain for Maria, Joel also did an official Roja cover. That's true. Roja is the official villain for this story. Both these editions are gorgeous. They connect somewhat. They have beautiful design and story elements, as Joel is known to do. And man, they rock in person. Next up, returning champion Sora Sung does the official jeweled edition, enhanced by official jewels by Shannon G. Shannon G just celebrated her 10th anniversary of working with Coffin Comics, doing the beautiful jeweled editions. And we look forward to a long and fruitful association to continue. Next up, so Sora Song, that is a great one, and colored by CC De La Cruz. How does CC find the time? I don't know, but the work that she does for Coffin Comics is tremendous. We're always appreciated her fine work. Next up is the holofoil edition by Keith Garvey. Keith Garvey has been turning in some career-defining work at Coffin Comics. I've actually always been a fan, and man, the stuff he does for us is just tremendous. What can you say? Next up, holy mackerel, the Mega Foil edition by Ryan Kincaid and Hedwin Zalbadar. If you check out the reference, all these handguns are actually going to be Mega Foil. This is a mock-up, so we're not doing it on the mock, but yeah, these will all be foil. Ryan Kincaid is having a banner year in his career. The work he's turning in for Coffin Comics is tremendous. And I also want to give a shout out and wish a happy anniversary to the happy couple. Ryan and his lovely wife, I believe, have been married for 14 years, and they are a tremendous couple. And it's another great example of two people coming together and just turbocharging their life together and taking on the world and taking it over. So phenomenal. Congratulations, guys. Next up, holy mackerel, Mike Crome does it again in this story-driven image for the La Muerta official hardcover. Naturally, this is just a mock-up. We do not have the hardcovers yet, but you'll see this blood-drenched image with colors by Juan Fernandez. You can see imagery relating to Mexico City in it, some story elements. The folks have really driven down deep for this one. Rounding out what we call the main editions. Oh my Lord, it's the heavy Metallico edition with art by the one and only Ebas, Eric Basaluda, and CC De La Cruz. This is Roja, as only Ebas can do it. One of the career-defining artisans of our generation in this time of outlaw bad girl comics, right? I mean, are you going to disagree? This is what's up. Next up, those are our main editions. Now let's start talking about some tiers. Of course, we're going to get to the mystery envelope, but let's talk about some additional editions that are related to our high roller. We have the beautiful La Muerta edition, influenced by Soriyama by Monty Moore, an ally of Coffin Comics, an incredible talent in his own right, who's blossomed into an international fine artist in many different categories, including pop culture and the Western genre. But man, it looks to me like when you challenge Monty Moore to put a gun in a character's hand, he rises to the occasion. The next image is the Metallic Jewel edition by Paolo Pantalena. Paolo also provides the color for this one. And this is also enhanced with jewels by Shannon G. This is the mock-up. See if I can bring it down to the light just a tad. See if we can capture the light on that one. Very painterly, beautiful color style by Paolo. Another wonderful work. Moving onward, here we have, holy mackerel, there it is. It is the sumptuous edition. This is part of the upper tier high roller. Obviously a variation on the heavy metal edition by Eric Basaluda. This one has the character Roja in a bikini. And that actually does relate to a scene in the story. That Roja, she's plumb cuckoo. Wait till you read the story. And then rounding out our high roller, here is the Keith Garvey Roja. Roja. Let's continue, shall we, on the additional editions and moving onward to the legend tier. We have the artistry of Brett Booth, El Deso Corova, and beautiful color work, additionally, by Juan Fernandez. This will be part of the legend tier. We have the trade dress. We have the noir, which features the inks, and then the virgin art. And this is incredible work by Brett. You know, it's amazing that Brett is a super productive artisan, obviously regular artist on Gunslinger Spawn, turning out amazing work. I guess any of you guys and gals out there have been into the 90s like myself. I just love seeing this guy's work. It's so neat that we get it in for our own material. Amazing. Continuing onward. Can you believe it? James O'Barr provides the imagery for the Ultimate Edition. Ultimate Edition. You will be freaked out to realize how low the print runs are on these editions. Don't get it twisted. These are among the most smallest limited editions by these two artists that I believe I've seen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's crazy. Next up, we're going to move on to what we call the VIP tour, the VIP tier. And these are simply samples. The VIP tier will include, the Mega VIP tier will include hand-colored editions. And here are samples. And these are works in progress. We will continue to work on them, but they will be limited to 15 copies, if I recall. 13 available on the campaign, and each one will be unique. Also part of that tier is the Metal Legend Edition and the Ultimate Metal Edition. These are both limited to 15. And we have a couple other editions. Let's see where they all fit into the scheme of things. This is also part of the Mega VIP tier. They're very limited in nature. Memorial Ashcan editions. This is a new format. This will be full size, but inside is a combination of black and white and color, and it's an inside look on the creation of the work. So they are actually wholly separate new productions. And then exclusive to the VIP tier is the holofoil edition by Joel Gomez and Cece De La Cruz, and that one is limited to 15 copies. So that is the Mega VIP tier. I would like to point out that I believe that one edition is not currently being represented. That is a Don McTagg edition, and that is the exclusive to the High Roller tier. Now, people really seem to, maybe you have never read La Muerta and you want to get caught up. We have you covered because we are offering the trade paperback of La Muerta chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. These are affordable editions running about 150, 200 pages. They're about $20, $24 a piece, shipping included. And that'll kind of help you get caught up until we release the next trade. Those same editions are available in limited edition hardcovers, cover by Alex Ronald, cover by Sora Sung. So if you want to jump on, you're intrigued by what you're hearing or seeing, this is a good way to do it. Now, let's continue, and we're going to start at the beginning. Let's talk about the mystery envelope. The mystery envelope is included as part of the High Roller tier, the Mega Baller tier, the Legend tier, and the Mega VIP. But additionally, you can make it a separate pledge or an add-on. Let's get into what's going on with these. This time we actually have, I could speak. This one is limited to 799 copies, which is less than the last campaign. So let me show you guys and gals out there what is on in the mystery envelope. First up, a couple of copies from the vault, a couple of BP editions, a couple of publisher file copy editions, heck, a couple of mock-ups. Anybody out there like super limited editions? A couple of artist proofs. First up, this is the Eric Basaluda Scarlet Pearl. It's called Scarlet Redline Fever Pearl. This one is limited to 50 or less. We will never do it that way again. Next up, part of the Superstars, Joel Gomez. This is limited to 45. Joel Gomez Pearl, colored by Gwen, limited to 45, printed on Pearl. And then, Can You Handle It? Don McTagg. This is a metal edition, limited to 25 in total. That's just the beginning of the mystery envelope, folks. Next up, get ready for it. These are the Joel Gomez homage editions. The first one is called Turner-esque, homaging Mike Turner. The next one is Assassin, homaging the classic Elektra #1 by Bill Sienkiewicz. And then thirdly, This is, what did I call this one? I called this one Wonder Edition. And this is after a classic Brian Boland Wonder Woman cover. Pretty cool stuff. But that's not all. The madness continues in the mystery envelope, starting with the Cyber Editions by Justin Hunt and Hedwin Zalvadar, available in 2 distinct colorways. Good work, Justin. Thank you. Moving on, the Duality Editions by Marissa Pope and Hedwin Zalvadar, presented in 2 different colorways. Next up, we're moving on to the Mood Editions by Joel Gomez, series artist. This first one is called Joyous, limited to 50 copies. The next is Sullen, limited to 50 copies. And the next is Happy, limited to 5 copies. Rarely do you see a smile out of sheer happiness from a Coffin Comics character. Maybe this makes it the rarest edition of all time. Next up, the Sora Song Commission Editions. Art by Sora Song in both cases. Rounding out the madness that is our mystery envelope is the Pyramid Editions, limited to 50 copies by Richard Ortiz in day and night editions. Well, I don't know how you guys and gals feel about those mystery envelopes. I was so stoked to put them together. Now look, I know some of you guys and gals out there like the prints and the cards. So let's not mess around anymore. Let's get right into it. Let's take a look at print set A with imagery by Joel Gomez, Keith Garvey, Sora Song, CC De La Cruz, Dawn McTague, Ryan Kincaid, and Hedwin Zalvadar. Couple that with the trading card set A, imagery by Sora, Ryan, Dawn, Keith Garvey, and Joel Gomez. Then we have print set 2, imagery by Joel Gomez, Monty Moore, Paolo Pantalena, Mike Chrome, Keith Garvey in the Roja edition. Next up, trading card set B, imagery by Mike Chrome, imagery by Keith Garvey, Diego Bernard, CC De La Cruz, Paolo Pantalena, and Joel Gomez. How about the ultimate trading card set, which includes cards from set A, set B, and the following cards? The Dan Mendoza card. Stay tuned for a reveal of the Dan Mendoza set coming soon. Next up, Brett Booth Legend, The Great Roja by Ebas, James O'Barr, and the Monty Moore image. Ridiculous, folks. That's not all. How about the ultimate print set? We also have, for your consideration, singularly or part of a set, the Roja Commemorative Edition by Ebas, the main commemorative edition by Diego Bernard and CC De La Cruz. And we could not resist. We have the James O'Barr Ultimate and the Brett Booth Legend. Now, it's been part of the great history of the La Muerta Kickstarters, where Joel Gomez is kind enough to offer the opportunity to get an exclusive piece of original art, frequently offered in a headshot, a full body, or even a wraparound. And that'll be the only way you're going to get something on here. So there'll be 3 tiers dedicated to the wonderful work of Joel Gomez, where he will make custom artwork for you. Stay tuned. The PDF has all the details. We can never thank Joel enough for being part of La Muerta and for doing this cool thing for everybody out there anywhere in the world who may want one. Are you in Belgium, Australia, Switzerland, Canada, wherever you are in the world, you can own a piece of Joel Gomez art that is exclusive to this campaign and thus limited in nature. It's a great way to mark the history of this campaign, having something that you could call your own. Folks, if you could believe it, I could be wrong. I think I have presented to you what we have to date to show on the La Muerta Devious Kickstarter campaign. We still owe you showing you a couple of other items. That includes the Dawn McTague image from High Roller, the Dan Mendoza set, which is gorgeous. It's La Muerta versus Roja, and very soon, the La Muerta patch set. That's right. You'll see it in the PDF. It's a 9-patch custom set featuring custom back patch art by Joel Gomez. Now, next Wednesday, we're going to do another preview. And at that time, everything that I haven't shown you, you're going to see. So again, let's recap. In conclusion, La Muerta Devious Kickstarter campaign featuring this gorgeous art comes to Kickstarter, launching Wednesday, May the 10th at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. One half hour before that, come on down because we're going to party. We'll party together. Remember, party's a state of mind. If you like libations, that's fun. If you don't, that's cool. Just hang out. Let's see, what else is there to say? Sign up right now on the pre-launch page. I thank you so much for reviewing this preview with me, as I am so proud to present to you the work of the guys and gals. And I cordially invite you to back this campaign, because without you, we can't do it. And we really appreciate you and everything that you've done for us. So you guys have been great. I've been Coffin Comics publisher Brian Pulido. Holler at you later.
Swarmfest, Swarmfest, Swarmfest! Swarmfest, the global gathering for Coffin Comics feed and the Swarm, featuring exclusive party, artist, signings, commission, panels, beer, food, coffee, alcohol, tours of HQV2, trading posts, CGC, friendship, community, camaraderie, shenanigans, insanity, and more.
Plan ahead. Be there.
Tickets and details on sale now at CoffinComicShop.com. Presented by Coffin Comics.